Well, hello. Going to have a little look at a stochastic today because one of the Scruffyites has asked a very good question regarding it. Let's roll the intro. I'll tell you all about it. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers, and as you can see by my rugged good looks, I am the Scruffy trader. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world and show a little bit about what I do for a living, how I use the charts, and also a little bit of a vlog of what goes on in this office and the office I have at home, which is normally me taking the mickey out of my beautiful wife. Talking of which,
there's your coffee.
She's my friend today. She made me a coffee. Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. Does like Winky as well. And this is Winky. Right. Yesterday she was horrible.
I was not.
Kicked us in the shin and everything. She is terrible. But on that screen I'm making some money, so she's my friend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer this question on stochastics. And give a couple of shout outs to some of the Scruffy squad, the Scruffites. You've got Mac Truex. I'm not rightly sure I'm going to get this next name pronounced correctly, and I really hope I do. Lizdeski? Not really sure where you're from, but welcome aboard, and I genuinely thank you. It's the start of making all of the channel worthwhile, and you're asking some great questions. And the next shout out is to Stefan, because he wants to know about stochastics and are they worth trading with, are they useful, but more importantly, can you use them to make some money? Well, I like stochastics, kind of. Keep an eye on them. My preferred sort of oscillator is the RSI. I know most people slag it off, but you kind of use what you are comfortable with. And when you look at oscillators, there's loads of them, but they all essentially do the same thing. They're kind of banded between two areas. Now with a stochastic, it is 80-20. It is the standard settings, and then there's a couple of other settings that you'll see. 5-3-3 is a normal setting. I find that incredibly fast. You also have 14-3-3, and again it kind of slows it down slightly. But when I jump on the chart in a second, I'm going to go through that and just show you some of the little things that I look at. But it's not necessarily the way I trade. It's just giving you some ideas as to how the stochastic can work. Now, I'm not going to go into the maths behind it because boring, it's just a load of figures. What you basically need to know is the boundaries it's going to work in and the length of time it looks back. All right? And this will give you an understanding as to what I'm about to show you. All right. So let's jump on the screen and we'll go through it, but I'm also going to be trading it live this morning while I'm doing it. So let's jump on the screens and we'll see if we can kind of make a little bit of sense of a stochastic. Okay, Stefan. I think the easiest way to show you what is going on is to do it live. Now today was a cracker on the DAX. I like the DAX, and I know this chair squeaks. I've actually decided to get a new one, even though this is like a lucky charm for me. Let's just strip this down a little bit and we shall see. Superb drop. Okay, strong directional move, you know something has to give and go up. All right. So how does a stochastic help you in this? Right. Well, let's break it down. This is a standard setting on a stochastic, 533, and it's bounded at 80 and 20. So if it gets over 80, you're expecting it to come down. Under 20, you're expecting it to go up. That's about as simplistic as it gets, okay? And if you look at today, this is the 10 o'clock candle on the 14th of August. So this is live right now, okay? No idea what that drop is. Just came from nowhere. But it represents a great opportunity. And I don't like trading on a Friday, but as soon as I saw that, we're going to be in like Flint. Okay, talking of in like Flint, just for me.
It is.
And Shane, lovely. She actually made me a coffee. You watched the videos the other day, she was kicking me in the shin.
I got you something else.
An apple.
Well, it was for the teacher, wasn't it?
An apple. Bloody hell. Get yourself to Greg's and get me a pie. It's not happening. I was almost tempted to say something else, but it's Friday and it's Saturday tomorrow, and I want to have a good weekend while I'm off. Are we having a good weekend while I'm off?
Yeah.
Good girl. Right answer. Shall I wear a leather jacket?
Well, I haven't got a cold bikini.
I never said it. Sorry. If you watch the other videos, that would probably make a bit of sense. Right, Stefan, sorry, let's get back. 533. Drop it back to a 15-minute, like an entry chart. It's quite noisy. As you can see, it's not good, is it? Which is why they don't really work. So another setting for it is 1433. Now this is a bit smoother. And as you can see, it's steadily up, down, kind of catch that. Steadily up. Just trying to tell you there's a drop, but there's nothing there. And it definitely caught that, but that was more good luck than good fortune. And it's pushing up. But as you can see, came down. It's telling you to get in here. And it was right, but then wallop down that cane. And it's not really that good. You know, so you've got to kind of build up a picture. So you're looking at levels. You see, this is down into the oversold territory, which it would be because of this ridiculous drop. Okay. But it's stopped there. So that's your first clue. All right. And it's moving up, but it looks like it's coming down. Can you adapt this so that it gives you a little bit of a stronger signal? Yes, you can. Slow it down even more to 28. Okay, so you've now got 28.33. It hasn't moved a great deal. So your next step is to actually increase these as well. Okay. Now it's changing because there's your cross and it's here. It's getting you in that little bit better. Now I'm actually going to put a trade on now, just to show you, because the signal has come in. Top of this candle on the 15-minute, and we're going to go balls in because I want to be in and out quick. All right, this is full whack. All right, so this is live. I just want to be in and I want to be out because this is quite a dangerous situation to be in. That is your 50%. But there's a resistance line there, so I'm going to put a setting here just underneath that, and we're going to watch this play out. Okay, and this is based on your stochastic. Now I'm just letting that run. it looks risky what I've done, but it's not as risky as you think, because I am actually watching it on that screen as well. And I'll put on the markings I have on that screen. I have a Bollinger Band on, and this is basic stuff, guys. So I have watched that come through this Bollinger, all the way down. It's cracked straight through that level, which I expected it would. This level is a strong level, which is why it's red. And it has moved into the bolly. So I'm now quite happy. All right. That candle, this one here, big push up, small body, green, stop that move in its tracks. That one did, but it didn't close inside the Bollinger Band. It was still outside. So this came down. That was the first close inside. Push up. This hasn't confirmed anything. So it came down. Now it's pushing up because the green line underneath is pushing the black one up, as you can see. It's curled round, pointing up. The green one pushes it up, but it's slowed down the entry point. And it's all about putting little clues together. Okay, so there's this little clue. So now we've got a nice solid body up. Pressure must come from this because it has been massive. And now it's pushing up. Now, when I'm day trading, I will normally have multiple positions, one position broken up into multiple orders, because I'm expecting it to run for a long time. This one I'm not. It's a strange event, and the reason I am going flat out, it's not quite at the full position, but if I go 20 quid a point, I can get a quick burst, grab 10 to 30 pips in one go, and it'll pay me quite well. And if this thing comes under here, I am out. You know, because I don't want to be sitting on that. So as soon as that gets under there, my mental is triggering. It's time to think, got this one wrong, kid. You know, I'll take the little punch, and if it gets under the black one, I am definitely out. Okay, so that's my thought process. But as you can see, it's not really doing a great deal. But this isn't half pushing up, and I want to see it bend. All right. So yes, it looks scary, but you've got to remember the DAX moves very quickly, and today is a quick moving market because of, well, this move here. There's a lot of energy to the downside, but it is now pushing up, and you can see that with these candles. So it's coming down, it's pushing up, it's coming down, it's pushing up, it's coming down, it's pushing up, all overstretched, incredibly overstretched. Okay, but as I've told you guys many times before, a move cannot be sustained indefinitely. Eventually it has to give, and that's why you need to be careful with what you're doing. Don't try and catch a falling knife. Wait for it to stall, and that's exactly what I've done here, and it's exactly what this is telling me, you know, because if you look at the moves, when that got up here, it's very gentle. It's not a violent twist. See, down there, and it's just meandered along. You know, it gets under here. All right. Okay, it's not the best in the world, but it would have given you some meat on the bones because it's pushed out. It's come back in. It's pushed down. It's now telling you to get in, and there you go. But even that, you know, you get some money out of that. You get, you say 10 ticks. All right. So It's interesting, but I want to see it just burst. And if it does, result. Okay. In fact, what we might do is a little exercise. See, that's up to 30. The actual drop, if we put a fib on, is about there. All right. So if we hold with nerve just a little bit, you know, you might have to sit on a little bit of heat, but the reward can be £1,000. All right. Let's get rid of this. All right. So it's £1,000 on 50 pips. Fair enough. Phone. So let's see what we can get out of this, huh? Right. What I'll do is I'll just let it play out in front of us, and then I'll come back to it a little bit at the end, and I'll talk a little bit more about a stochastic. Okay. So let me enjoy my coffee, and I'll just let this run. Hopefully it won't last too long. Okay, not a bad return for a couple of hours. Didn't quite work out the way I thought it was going to. I genuinely thought it would have slammed straight up, which is why I went in full tilt. But because it didn't, I then had to manually carve how I would normally have managed that position. So that's kind of what happened. And it's a good thing to show, because when you're trading, what you think's going to happen and what really does happen are two different things. So again, you just got to put your clues together. And what I saw was this level was holding. It was strong enough to repel, which is why I started carving off. You know, if it had gone up absolutely solid, smashed through, I'd have held on. But by the looks of these makeup of candles, it was the right choice to make. And this goes back to the stochastic, because you can see it's been repelled here and it's starting to curl over, and it looks like it's going to create a new cross here. So it was actually a good exit indicator as well as an entry indicator. And that's all the stochastic is. It is primarily a cross, and you can use the cross of the two lines, or you can wait for it to come up over into the upper band or the lower band, and then wait for it to cross back, or wait for a cross that's within it. I personally prefer to see things that are overstretched. So if I see a Bollinger Band that's pushing out with an indicator that is bottoming out, in other words, it's lowest extreme or its highest extreme, it becomes stronger. And that's what you use these things for. On an RSI, there's many ways. I use 3 levels on an RSI. I use the upper, the lower, but I also look at the middle, because it's a good tipping point. Okay, I find using a middle point with a stochastic a little bit unreliable, but the outer reaches are pretty good. Okay, but then it comes down to this section here and the makeup of what's going on. Now I find if you slow it down, let the candles look further back, it does create a little bit of a stronger signal. And funny enough, if we look back here, this is now pushing down. The longer the time frame, the stronger the signal becomes. So there we are there. There's your cross, green's pushing down. That could have kind of kept you on in this all the way. And you're getting it from the top of that section down onto this level. You know, likewise here. It's crossing over. That's a pretty hefty drop. So there's your cross. So it's put you into this zone here. And then you can work from there to there. And this would have kept you in it. All right. Just little things. They're not definitive. They're not 100%. There is no system that is 100%. You just put the clues together and make an informed choice. And that's what a stochastic can do. Now, if you watch this on an hourly, that's slamming down, it's pushed up, it's moving down. It come, depending on what happens on Sunday, you could use that for a good uplift for next week. Okay. And for the swing traders out there, these sort of things are excellent because they can hold you in for days. And instead of getting you 10 pips like what I was kind of going for there, just a quick slam, you end up getting quite a hefty amount, up to 100 pips. And think of it this way. If you're looking to get 100 pips a week and you're trying to day trade it, that means you've got to be pretty much active and at risk quite a lot. If you can get a good position that can give you 100 pips and not do any work, is that working hard or thinking smart? I don't know. Bit of food for thought for the weekend. Okay. But what I will say about the stochastics is the higher the time frame, the stronger it becomes. Okay, and that's the same with any indicator. You know, when you're looking at 5 minutes, don't aim for the stars. You know, it'll get you in and it'll get you out, but you're only going to get 5-10 pips. Okay, it's just the noise. And if it's looking 28 back, it isn't going that far back in time, really. But when you start looking at a 15 minutes and especially an hour, you set it to 28, it's actually taking probably a good part of 2-3 sessions into consideration. Whereas on 28 on a 5 minute is only really taken the last hour or so, and anything could have happened. So the longer the better. Okay, so that was that. It was a good exercise. I hope that kind of shows a little bit about what the stochastic is in real time. The takeaway is very simple. Outer extremes. Okay, they're the bits that you want to be looking at. Once it gets up, the higher up it goes, the harder it's going to come down. Likewise, the lower down it goes, the harder it'll push up. It's just, think of a rubber band pushing out, slamming in, and combine it with a Bollinger Band and some levels, and you can make yourself a nice little strategy. Okay, and there you are. You've just watched me do this. It didn't go against me a great deal. Certainly didn't go anywhere near my mental stop. Stayed within the boundaries of the levels that I've drawn out, and it paid me. And that's all this is about. Just about being paid. Okay. The fact I love it is a bonus, you know. But talking of bonuses, look what I've got for this another time today. You're right on form today, aren't you?
Aye, no flies on me.
No flies on her, eh? Hey. Okay, boys and girls, I'm gonna leave it there. It's been a good morning. So remember, do what you love, and money will follow. I'll see you all in the next one.